BFF Report. I'm your host, Mike B, aka Phony, and today we're not talking about E3, just right in the middle of doing a lot of E3 stuff, which is why the video probably looks kind of weird right now and all of that. But today we're talking about DayZ. It's pretty much the hottest thing in the post-apocalyptic zombie survival sphere. So we should probably talk about that. Now, a couple things before we get started. DayZ is a mod for ARMA 2, and ARMA 2, you need not just the basic version of ARMA 2. Don't go out and buy that and expect this to work. You need combined operations or one of the expansions. Go to dayzmod.com and you can actually go and figure it out from there. Some people have found other ways to make it work without having to buy the entire $30 pack. I just went ahead and threw down $30 because the game looked like it was worth it. And it pretty much was. Now, also, the game is all about permadeath. Okay, you die, you die. Okay, I just want to make sure, in case I forgot to cover that in the actual episode, when you die, you die. You have to start from scratch with just your beans and your pistol. Okay, we'll get to that stuff. And also, the graphic settings. There's a way to actually increase the graphics even further than what I had up for the BFF report. I actually had everything cranked down just a little bit because I was not only recording video for the episode, I was also streaming it because it was kind of hilarious to watch people try to stream snipe by seeing where you're at and then come out and hunt you down. Anyways, let's take a look at the game. Now, first things first, yes, you can create more than one account in ARMA 2, but that doesn't mean anything for the DayZ mod, because the DayZ mod is actually linked to your CD key. So what this means is you make a character using, just basically change the face, put sunglasses on, make maybe a hat or something, and you could change your name, and then you go into a game, and then you could be nice and all that stuff, and oh, friendly, yeah, sure, and then you can log out and log back in using a different account. You're still using the same gear, stats, you still have, everything is the same because linked to your CD key, and then you can be a huge dick to everybody. Next thing we should do is, of course, cover the UI. It's very important to get to know this thing because it's very simple. At times, it can be a little clunky, especially when you're going through your inventory and whatnot, which you'll have to figure out on your own. It would just take me forever to explain to you guys how to swap a backpack. You gotta drop stuff on the ground, then you gotta turn around and pick up the bag, and then you gotta go pick up all that stuff you dropped on the ground. It's a little bit quirky right now, but it's an alpha, so you know, what do you expect? Now, in the upper right corner, you see we have this debug window. We're gonna blow this up a little bit, and you can see that it shows all of your basic stats, how many murders you have, which is when you kill another player, how many zombie kills you have, how many headshots you have. All this is very important. And of course, your temperature and name and all that stuff. In the lower right corner, we have a visual representation of all of your health needs. The top one we won't really cover because it's called humanity, and that used to be based off of when you kill people that have a greater humanity, you lose equal to that amount of humanity, whatever, and then your character ended up looking like a bandit. Unfortunately, that part is out, so we're not gonna talk about that too much, but the next one down is, of course, your body temp. That's very important to keep in check because if it's outside at night and it's raining and it's windy and your body temp gets below a certain amount, you can actually catch a cold. But if you don't keep that in check, and let's say you're out here creeping around and you cough, you can aggro a whole bunch of zombies, and that sucks. Next one down is your hydration level, and that is represented by the canteen here, which, yes, you can drink from your canteen, which would consume the contents of that canteen, but luckily, all water out here is potable. So I guess we're not worried about some kind of strange disease or bacteria in the water. That doesn't exist out here. But you can also refill your hydration level by drinking Pepsi and Coke products, which is kind of interesting. As a matter of fact, the loot table suggests that there's Mountain Dew out here somewhere, which I have not run into any. Don't worry, there's no kind of weird caffeine like high that you're gonna get in where your weapon starts shaking and all that stuff. You don't have to worry about that. But your weapon does get shaky if you, say, break your leg or something, which does happen lots and lots of times, especially when you step off of, like, you know, the third step in a staircase or something like that. Next one down is your health, represented by the blood drop here. This also goes back to the debug window that showed your blood currency there. As that decreases, it turns more and more red. So you want to kind of keep that up as high as you can, because if you ever get swarmed by zombies and then let's say you start to, I don't know, bleed, then even surviving a zombie attack could still mean that you're going to bleed to death if you don't have any bandages on you. So you always want to keep that in check to see if you are losing blood after like an attack and such. If you're in third person point of view, it's very obvious because blood like squirts out of your forehead, so you can't miss that. And the last one down there is food. Very, very obvious what that is. You get food from looting pretty much anything, zombies, or going and exploring buildings. You find loot stashes. The most common food, of course, is beans. And I'm laughing because you will get shot for beans. You will die because somebody wants your beans. That's just the way the game works. And beans refill about 200 health. And so as you can see, at a 12,000, when you're only getting 200 health from a can of beans and you're dying over it, that means there are some desperate ass people out here. Now, right above that is a set of GUI elements that are crucial for you. You have to monitor these at all times because this will determine if you get seen or heard by a zombie. Now, the more lines, think of like your cell phone, right? Whereas the higher the signal you have, the more bars you have. That's pretty much the way the system works. The more bars that are on the left-hand side of the ear means that you are making a lot of noise and you need to effing stop. The visual meter is pretty obvious as well. If you're standing up in the middle of the field, you're probably pretty easy to see. If you lay down in the unsupported prone position, then zombies are less likely to see you, especially at night. I've actually been able to creep around a couple of towns at night very close to zombies and not aggro them. So make sure you keep an eye on those. Now, I don't want to go into too many details about the different server types that are available out there, but just know that you can have up to 50 players, depending on the server, of course. And then also there are expert, veteran, hardcore, whatever. All these different modes, which you should check that before going in, will remove certain features. That's pretty much what they do. So for example, an aiming reticule, if you're on, let's say, an expert server or something, it might actually have the aiming reticule removed. And so you're pretty much stuck with having to look down the actual sights of the weapon or just shoot from the waist and just hope that you land a shot. Other elements that can be removed is the third-person point of view. You can actually get into a server where it doesn't allow third-person point of view. Others can actually, from what I hear, can have the gamma locked down. So if you're doing night ops, you can't just crank the gamma and hope that you can see just as clear as day, which I guess some people were doing. So before you actually get into a server, make sure you look into seeing what elements are going to be removed. Otherwise, you might be in for a surprise when you go to, say, swap to third-person point of view so you can maneuver around a zombie and find out that you can't. So you're laying in the unsupported prone position and all you see is grass and zombie feet. That sucks. All right, now to cover what it's like in a typical, I guess you could say, life cycle in DayZ. First off, I'm running along the coast here to meet up with my buddy Shizzle. He is fully geared out. He's got tons of gear, so he's gonna be handling most of the killing, unless, of course, I absolutely need to ring the dinner bell, aka any rifle that doesn't have a suppressor / silencer on it, which he has, so he's gonna be taking care of, again, most of the killing for me. Now, we decided to meet up at the local gas station here. You can hear him here in a couple minutes. He's going to be sniping a couple of these zombies you see laying out here. Again, look at the right-hand side. You see that the little meter that shows the audible and visual range is pretty maxed out. It's because I'm running out in the open. Again, I feel like I'm pretty well covered by Shizzle. We have a hopper zombie over there behind the truck. He's going to go ahead and snipe that here in a minute. And then I'm just going to focus on looting the ones he's already killed. The goal here is to get me hooked up with good stuff. And we're going to start things off with food. First things first, we find a steer. So here's one. I'm going to go ahead and shoot it a couple times, suppose. with my starter pistol. Just ignore me. It's totally cool. So finally it dies, and I need the proper tools to pull this off. So Shizzle here is going to hook me up with all the items that I need. And the way that we actually swap items, first he's moving away from the steer so there's no glitch with looting the steer and also picking up the items that he's going to drop for me. So what's going to happen here is he's dropping things onto the ground, you can see right there, and then it pops up on my inventory and I can grab it and move it over into mine. Now, one of the other ways of giving gear is to put it directly into my backpack, but I think there was a particular reason why he wasn't doing it. I'm not quite sure. I think it's because my bag was full or something. Anyways, so he gives me all the proper items and then I move over to the steer and I begin hacking away at it. This is going to yield me a handful of steaks here. You can see that each steak takes up one slot. Every item takes up at least one slot in the inventory. It's not a weight-based system, so be mindful of your inventory while you do all this stuff. We then move out into the wooded area so that I can hack away at a couple of trees, gather some wood, and then build a fire using matches. Again, all the things that are involved here. You need a hatchet to chop wood. You need matches to light the wood. And obviously, you're going to need wood from the trees in order to actually start the campfire. And you build a campfire place first. So you build, like, I guess maybe you put stones in a circle or something. And then you lay down the wood. And then you light it. And then you throw your steaks on top of it. And now you have cooked meat that's going to net you about 800 blood for each one you consume. And going back to the inventory thing, remember the beans only restore 200 health, so I'm getting 4 times the health back in the same inventory space. This is why I say manage your inventory. We approach the first town and there is a little pond here and I need to go ahead and drink and then refill my canteen. Now, keep this in mind, if you see a pond or a water source where you can fill your canteen, drink and do it, because even if you're just slightly dehydrated, this is free water. So just top yourself off, then top off your canteen, and then move into the city. Now, after Shizzle snipes a few zombies, we make our way to the heart of the town where there's a house here that's known to have loot. These houses typically have at least 3 to 4 stashes of loot. Sometimes it's the shack right outside. Some loot right here you can pick up. You see there's a empty can. There's a can of beans, it looks like. Maybe some flares. There's a couple of things. You get empty cans, which apparently you could throw, and I guess they do damage. It might be a bug, might not be, but still amusing nonetheless. If you find empty whiskey bottles, you can actually launch those as well. They will make a shattering sound when they hit the ground, which would obviously aggro any zombies in the area, and you could then maybe throw like a frag grenade or just kind of maybe take them all out at once if you like. Now, if you notice, I've not really shown too much action, right? Because the only action you're going to get at this point is really just killing zombies here and there in order to get to your destination so you get better loot, better gear, whatever, and then you turn around and move on to the next building, the next town, and next whatever. Now, this allows lots of time for tension to build up because people can sneak up on you at any corner. So Shizzle's here clearing the house one room at a time when all of a sudden... Now, if there was somebody there, they would be dead. In this case, the game kind of glitched a little bit. There was a player character that was sitting there who was dead, standing up. And obviously, because again, we've had so much time crawling around, just high crawling it around all over this town, sniping zombies here and there, that when little things like this happen, you tend to freak out sometimes. Now you see here that I'm looting his actual stuff. And this is one of the reasons why you want to kill other players. You're gonna see a lot of players running around saying, oh, friendly, so-and-so, are you friendly? And they'll say, yeah. And then they'll like team up. And then what ends up happening usually is that other person or one of the two will end up shooting the other in the back. That's how this game is built. It is designed to make you have to survive by either trusting people or attempting to make it on your own by treating other players no better than you do zombies. Roughly 25 minutes later, you can see that we're aggroing zombies. We've already cleared out pretty much all the buildings in the small town that we had gone past, and now we're in the field near the coast. We're gonna run up the coast to the next large town and then see what we could find. I'm trying not to be the one to fire my weapon, but unfortunately, you know, I kind of don't have a choice in some situations. So I got beat on a little bit here. Now, Shizzle notices that another player character is over here, and we light him up instantly. So this guy is dead, right? You see that the... he stopped moving. We're gonna go and say that he's dead, and we go to investigate. Now, unfortunately, this is again another bug. First, we have a crawler zombie here. We're gonna take care of him. Lots of aggro. Holy crap. This is the kind of action you're gonna get. It's gonna be a whole lot of nothing for a very, very long time, and then boom, action all over the place. And then that's, again, the tension builds up, and it makes these moments that much more worth it. Now, unfortunately, again, as we get closer to this guy, you see that he's bleeding out. He's either AFK, DC'd, or the server is going down. Unfortunately for us, it was the server going down, so we ended up getting back in a few minutes before where we had left off. This is close to the coast, right after we had finished clearing that little town there. Shizzle actually DC'd later than I did, so I ended up way behind him. So you have to get around the server boss, which is the hardest boss in the game. Let me tell you, once you find a server that is solid, where your frame rate doesn't suck, because just as a note in this game, or using this mod, as you go from server to server, you'll notice that your frame rate varies sometimes greatly. There are some servers that for whatever reason, they actually affect your frame rate. So don't be discouraged if you jump into one and you have 9 frames per second, but then you jump into another and you have like 100. Just keep moving server to server until you find one that's solid. Remember the name, remember which one you're on, so that way you keep coming back to it, and that way your gameplay experience won't suck. So here we are going through this small town, just kind of high crawling it down the street, you know, not abnormal in the post-APOC DayZ world. We're actually making our way to the tree line so that we can log out here in this beautiful tree. The reason why we're logging out in this tree out here in the woods, because you can log out anywhere, is because we don't want to log back in on top of another player or something, similar to, say, that guy back on the beach, right? I mean, we lit that guy up the second he spawned. Now, that was a 2-hour play session where nothing happened. I mean, what the most action we saw was the guy spawning on the beach and the dead body that was standing up that Shizzle emptied like a half a clip in. So that's the way this game works. It's not designed to be a game of running around, shaking people, dying, respawning, trying again, lots of action, explosions, and all that stuff everywhere. Yes, you can piece together a helicopter. Yes, you can fix up a Jeep or a truck or something and then drive it around. That'll make you quite the target, but you can do that if you'd like. All that stuff exists. It takes time to do all that stuff, so you're gonna have lots of downtime in this game, of course, but I'm not gonna sit here and piece together a BFF report where it's nothing but action and action and action and tell you guys, this game's awesome, go get it, because you have to understand up front, this is a survival game.
Survival takes patience.
All right, so there you have it. I know you guys have seen me post a lot of this stuff, like on my YouTube, on my Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. But it's because the game is hot. I mean, the game is awesome. It really is. To me, it's one of the first things I noticed was that the game. It stood out to me like the reason why is I was like, why is this game popular? And I think it's because seriously. Because it's Minecraft without the building and with the first-person shooter stuff. So it's like they basically said, let's take this open-world environment where you have to survive and where there's monsters out that can attack you and you have to, you know, kill them or make your way through them in order to gather resources to continue surviving. But they just took out the building portion of it, the creative part of it, and replaced it with the first-person, third-person point of view shooter aspect. So all in all, I gotta say I am loving this game and I'm going to continue to stream it. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/AKMikeB, and also on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. Since I've recorded this footage, I actually have lots of helicopter footage. I could sit here and just tell you all kinds of stories about some of my experiences in this game, because that's the kind of game it is. You go in there, you spend about 5 hours playing, you maybe get like 3 or 4 fights, but those fights are usually worth retelling later on. So anyways, I'm not gonna keep going on about this. We're gonna wrap things up. Thank you for watching. Next week, no idea what I'm talking about because that's pretty much how I roll. And stay tuned, obviously, for probably some E3 news coming out from me via Gamebreaker and also YouTube and all that stuff. It's been a long day, guys. I will see you later. Thanks for watching.
Not when I can't see anything, dude. Like, why is it so bad? Hey, hold on a second. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Give me your MVGs.
Really? You want to see how good it is?
Yeah, I do.
It's gonna make you cry. There you go. Now it's one spot. There you go.
All right.
Now I can see shit all.
Close and. Oh, dude. Are you kidding me? You could see everything. Let's go find that guy and kill him.
Now you're gonna have to do a lot of the spotting. Like I can see it at all, but a lot of it's just like a gray that blends in on the town.
Don't worry about it.
So, yeah. Right there. Okay.
Oh, dude, did you hear that?
No, I didn't. I'm ulted out. What was that?
You didn't hear that?
No.
Watch out. Careful.
Look at me. What the fuck are you talking about? I was ulted out, so I couldn't hear anything.
Okay. No, it's cool. It's cool. Chill out.
Oh, I hear that.
Okay, that was a real one.
Wait, yours was fake? You didn't fire something
The first one was me. The second one was not me.
You actually fired?
Chill out, man.
That's a sniper. Did you hear what that is? That's a fucking sniper rifle going off.
That's right. Don't you know the rules? Have you ever gone hunting? For people? You fire once, you're okay. You fire twice, they know where you're at. Alright? That's why you only fire once. Okay? So don't worry about it. Bodies. You hear that?
Yeah, I do.
Get down. There's one right straight ahead.
Player?
Yep.
Where?
Like straight at my 12 right here.
I don't see him. Did he go prone or is he standing?
He's in prone. He's not moving.
I see him. I'm opening up. You ready?
Yep.
Shoot. He's still alive. There you go. Come on. He's not dead yet? Watch out. You got aggro. I'm throwing smoke nade. Smoke nade out.
Oh, Jesus.
Smoke nade's gonna clear. Fuck. The zombies despawned.
What the hell?
Bandage yourself.
Am I bleeding?
Yeah.
It doesn't show that I'm bleeding. I'm not bleeding.
He's dead.
He's dead? Okay.
On my screen, I thought I saw blood come out. You're not bleeding?
No, I'm not.
Go tell that.
You're freaking me out.
Holy massacre, Batman. There's 2 player corpses now. We killed that dude. We got him! Mission accomplished, Joe!
Wait, where's he at? Where's this player?
There's one in the middle of that pile right there. I think he has his buddy. Right here, you can see a player with the stuff on it.
Bandage.
Alright, you just fired off some loud rounds, though. So, we need to keep our eyes open.
Smoke grenade, binoculars, box of matches, compass. Bunch of shit I already have.
He had a patrol pack. He was a fucking noob.
Oh, poor guy.
1866. Oh, he had blood bags. Grab. We don't need blood bags. I've got a fuckload. We don't need blood bags. I've got a fuckload. He didn't have anything on the corpse, did he?
Yeah, no, this guy doesn't really have. I mean, he's got just He's got stuff that we already have, so it's kind of like a waste of time.
Okay.
You're not gonna be able to get him. You've been the worst fucking. No,
Well, I realize that, but it's worth a shot. Shut up.
I realize that, but.
Okay, he shoots. What? Oh, shots.
I heard that.
We got cover, so everyone get near the top, keep your heads down, and watch them stairs.
He's zigging to the right.
If he had a grenade, he might have another one. I don't want to stand right here. Yep, see? What I fucking
Right when you say it.
He's coming up.
You ready? You ready to light him up?
I don't have another frag. Fuck. Want to pop a smoke out
Just
there?
get ready to fucking light him up, dude. He's gonna come up the stairs. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Ready? Let us know.
Sounds like he's below us to our left.
Let us know if you're gonna take the door, dude.
Well, I'm sitting there, but I'm saying I was gonna pop out and take some shots from here. He's coming up. He's coming up. Get ready. I see his camo coming up the suit. Come with the shit. Here he comes. Come on, bro! Ah! Oh, he's down!
McCain.
You got him?
Oh, yeah! Come at me, bro!
Oh, God, no!
Oh, God, no!
Oh, I'm dead!
It's another